thanks for joining. I wanted to again do a recap of today. I ended up green, but it wasn't the most ideal day whatsoever. I did end up taking 4 total trades, which is more than I would normally trade. I kind of started off by, I'm seeing a move, kind of chasing it, and here I'm on the 15-second back to the 1 minute looking for an entry. I'm kind of getting to the bottom of, I shouldn't be getting in this late, but I ended up seeing an imbalance between 2 candles and I got in at that zone. So I should have realized that we've swept liquidity just to the left around, between 7:20 and 7:28 a.m. We've just swept that liquidity and traded into a fair value gap. Nonetheless, I did take a trade and it was a losing trade. So that was the first one of the day. So moving to the next trade, I see that we have created some equal highs, and I see a pretty large down candle, and I'm thinking that we're going to either make some more equal lows or sweep those. It happened pretty quick, and I'm looking for an entry, and you don't always trade back into a fair value gap, so I'm again switching to the 15-second. I just had a loss, and I of course saw that large candle. I'm thinking I got to get in and make back my losses here. So I ended up getting in the trade, and I even said, you know what, if it trades back up a little bit deeper into that fair value gap, I'm going to go ahead and add more to my position. So I did that, and I ended up just about right here getting in a little heavier, putting my stop at the same place. Now, I did not put my stop very high because I was not expecting it. I was basing it off the 15-second chart, thinking that I can get a tighter stop. So, second trade of the day, I'm thinking we're going to come right back down and sweep those lows, and I ended up getting stopped out. So, again, we came up, we've got a series of red candles, and I'm thinking, okay, now we're going to sweep these lows, and and I said, you know what, you faked me out last time. I'm gonna go for a buy here, right? Let's see if we can buy into a fair value gap and go up higher. This was not a correction. This was more of a retracement to make some equal lows, but nonetheless, of course, I had 2 bad trades already. I didn't start off the morning doing too well, and I should have taken a step back, taken a breather, and said, okay, let's wait for something good. Let's just watch for a little while. So I ended up putting my buy order in, and this was a very quick loss. I thought, okay, surely we'll suck back up here, but it just kept on going, and it stopped me out 3 times in a row. Now, I generally I do have a rule where I say I'm not gonna, if I have 3 losses in a row, that is it. I've got to stop somewhere, right? Put the brakes on it. I did keep on watching after this. I said, what's the harm in watching, right? So this is the fourth trade that I ended up taking because we ended up coming down. We swept all of those lows, and I'm looking at the relative equal highs at the top there, the 3 that we made at, about 750, 815, and 830. We made some highs, so I ended up getting in. I saw an imbalance. I saw this candle at 830. It had an imbalance on the bottom and the top, so we had a gap between the 2 bodies on both sides, and I thought, that looks like a pretty solid entry. We're tapping off of it a couple times, so I ended up going in 8 contracts, and I had a stop, just below the candle body, the previous candle body right there, and we pushed up pretty nicely, very, very quickly too. So had been down 380 on the day, and as you can see already, I'm back just about up to the 380 that I had lost. And I said, let me just see how far we can go with this. Hoping to reach those relative equal highs and take those out. So I ended up splitting up my order. I split it up and sold off, 3 of the 8 contracts, leaving, 5 left. That way, I took some profit off the table. So I did that and ended up just, well, here we go. This is where I've sold off, 4 of the 8 contracts. And I've got an order in there there we go, sell half my position. I'm trailing my stop a little bit tighter and hoping we'll just keep on going higher here. Though it would have been really nice to keep on going higher, and then, with an initial 3 losses being starting off the day in the red, I should have just taken it all off the table right there, probably. But I held on to it a little bit. I'm just seeing the rejections there, the wicks on the bottom. And we ended up having a little push up here. I'm seeing some smaller candles. Ended up having a nice push up right there, and I thought for sure, okay, let's go. Let's bring this thing higher. And I should have sold off right there, just gotten out. Hindsight is always 20/20 though, So I held on a little bit longer here. And here we go. I've got my hand on the close position, just ready to click that button. Not wanting it to take out my sell stop. But I'm sure you know what that's like, where you think like, maybe it just won't hit it, and you'll just leave it and see what happens here. Surely we'll retrace, right? But there we go. I was stopped out of it. I ended up green for the day. So that was great. I was over $100 green today. So glad to be from negative 380 to positive 100. But it was a good lesson for me to, just to be more patient, not to just jump into things. I think I'd been feeling a little bit more confident because I'd done well over the last week. So there's my recap. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you on the next one.